hard to capture, extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifested. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my sacred life.
Yo, what's going on, guys? So before we get into today's video, just gotta say that today's video is gonna be brought to you by Beautiful Halo. And I gotta say, if you guys want to purchase some really awesome anime merchandise, everything from Boruto / Naruto to Black Clover, My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball, click down in the description box and use my link below in order to do so. It's also a really great way to help support the channel. As a bit of an added bonus, a lot of their anime merchandise, like you saw in the video just now, is on sale right now, and there's free worldwide shipping on anything over $29. And as a quick heads up, before you order anything, make sure you check the size chart. It's very detailed and it's going to prevent you from ordering something that might not actually fit you. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga. And for anime only fans, this is the time of the month where a lot of the content that you guys see on the channel is going to be spoiler heavy, so I thank you for your support. However, if you're still here, I'm assuming that you guys are all caught up with the Boruto manga and you don't care about me talking about spoilers. So I want to go ahead and address something that I've seen a lot of people kind of going back and forth on, and I wanted to kind of weigh in on this, which is, now that we're getting to a situation where we know that the time skip is coming and we've had yet another setup chapter of where the framework has been laid down, and we have this threat that is beyond Jigen in the form of Eida, and we also have this potential threat if Code ever gets his unlimiters unlocked. Code in the last chapter said that I feel pretty confident that I can take down Naruto and Sasuke, basically if he fought them one-on-one, but he wanted to avoid a situation like Delta to where he'd be in a situation where he could potentially be overwhelmed. And so I bring that up to say this. Let's say the worst case situation happens and Code is able to unlock his limiters. He's able to essentially get Amado to take everything off. That means he's gonna get more powerful. And I've seen people say, well, what's the point in having somebody like Code there if Code's gonna be more powerful than Naruto? And like I've talked about before, just because Naruto does not have Kurama does not mean that Naruto's immediately up the creek at this point. And I've kind of talked about it at ad nauseum in that video, talking about how strong Naruto still is after losing Kurama, and kind of talking about the fact that because Naruto has such a high chakra volume that he's able to use chakra to augment his strength, which means that Naruto still has a freakish amount of raw strength because he has extra chakra that other people can't actually dictate towards using speed and strength boost on top of using ninjutsu. So why is that so important? Well, I think people overlook the fact that Naruto has a Hashirama cell arm, and because Naruto has those Hashirama cells, Naruto does have the ability, if he chooses to use so, in theory, Naruto should have wood release. And that's been something that we've not actually seen him use, but we've seen people with less portions of Hashirama DNA be able to use wood release. And the reason why this is so important to bring back up is wood release is so overpowered. I don't think people freaking realize it. The reason why wood release is so crazy and why people like Danzo and Orochimaru went to the ends of the earth in the case of Orochimaru trying to find somebody compatible with using wood release, and when it comes to Danzo, wood release allowed this dude to keep a whole Pokemon collection of Sharingan to where he could spam some deadly jutsu. So the reason why I bring that up is Naruto having wood release, he already has a high chakra volume, which means that Naruto's potentially going to be able to use some of those enormous wood release jutsu, and the fact that wood release in of itself allows you to manipulate, suppress, and absorb the chakra of somebody that you're fighting against. If Naruto deploys something like that against Code, I'm not saying that's enough for him to actually defeat Code, but I am saying that this is something to where it's going to allow Naruto to level the playing field. And the thing that everybody should keep in mind is if you give Naruto and if you give Sasuke a level playing field, they are able to get the victory. And in the case like this, because obviously Code is being set up for somebody that Kawaki or Boruto is eventually going to take down, leveling the playing field and getting them brought down to this level allows Naruto to serve up code for his son to actually be able to take him on, assuming that his son has a greater mastery of the Karma Seal. And in theory, as the Karma Seal begins to get more and more closer to Boruto becoming Sasuke-fied, you would think that the multiplier that the Karma Seal has is going to go up as well. And so if this is the case, this gives Boruto the opportunity to actually take him down. However, if we're in a situation where Boruto still can't step up to the plate himself, would release in of itself, if Naruto's able to use it and then start mastering some of those abilities, there are some pretty overpowered wood release jutsu. For instance, what's to say that Naruto's not able to actually start using stuff like the wood release 4-pillar prison jutsu, which would allow him to keep code in a secluded area while also limiting off some of his chakra. And because the lumber itself is coated in chakra, breaking free of it's going to be really hard. The only difference is the Karma Seal might be a way to actually break around that. Now, if the Karma Seal doesn't work off Code's chakra, then that could potentially be a problem. But you have other things like that giant Buddha that Hashirama was able to break out, that Buddha statue that's got like 9,000 hands. Naruto being able to use stuff like that, that's something really, really powerful, because it's essentially a one-shot attack because of the huge volume of attacks that are coming. Like, for instance, when you look at the Summit Enlightenment, which is the top transformed Buddha jutsu, basically Naruto will be able to create a giant wooden statue that has thousands of hands, and it allows him to simultaneously start swapping hands with whoever he's going at. And because of that volume, Code would not be able to actually defend the attack. And because it's a wood release attack, in theory, it should be able to start stripping off some of Code's chakra as well. The other thing is that you could also see Naruto in a situation where if he's using that huge Buddha statue, it also allows him to detach the statue and start fighting using the statue as well as himself, and start busting out some of these other jutsu. This is something that I do think that Naruto would be able to actually benefit from. And given the fact that Naruto, in my opinion, is the one Hokage who best mirrors Hashirama in terms of ideology, I do think that it will be appropriate for him to kind of tap into this power. Now, another thing to kind of keep in mind is that Naruto has also seen, in the light novels, he's seen Momoshiki use wood release, which you could argue that Naruto will be able to mimic some of that abilities that Momoshiki had. But you also have other jutsu, like the jutsu that Madara used, where he used that huge force that was able to sprout out all that pollen when he was fighting against the 5 Kage. That is something that, again, could be used as a way to actually start weakening Code and start serving him up. I do think that if we're in this situation where Naruto's not going to be able to start taking the lead on these fights and is more of a support character, Naruto being able to use that wood release is something that ideally they would go back to, because again, he has a Hashirama Cell arm. Why not make use of it? That's kind of what I'm thinking on that one. However, I want to know from you guys, do you guys think it's a good idea for Naruto to start exploring using wood release during the time skip? Or do you think that because Naruto's lost Kurama, that Naruto just needs to focus on sharpening what he has in his arsenal now and just take advantage of the fact that he has these monster chakra reserves, which does give him an edge in battle? Because again, chakra can be used to fortify your speed, strength, and endurance. So I'm really curious to see where you guys' thoughts on this is. Just want to kind of throw it out because I've had a few people ask me, do I want to weigh in on the whole concept of Naruto using wood release? But so always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.